Take a look at what a snowplow driver was up against as people in the valley dig out from under a blast of winter weather. They're measuring drifts by the feet. But there's some good news. Some highways in eastern North Dakota and west central Minnesota that were shut down yesterday are starting to reopen, including I-94 in North Dakota from Fargo to Fergus Falls and Highway 10 between Lake Park and Dilworth. Also, we're hearing some updates on the interstate in North Dakota as well. Most plows were pulled off the roads last night, of course, with the exception of the Fargo metro area, where drivers continued to work through the night.
Most schools are running late today, as are many businesses in the valley. And you might want to double check any flights out of Fargo or Grand Forks. Several early morning flights are either canceled or delayed. Hi, everyone, and thank you for waking up with us on this frigid Friday morning. I'm Jordan Schreier here with Lisa Badeau. We're just getting started with your news and weather to the top of the hour to help you plan your day. We have team coverage of this weather mess, but first, some breaking news out of Cass County. Deputies and state troopers are on the scene of a car versus train crash. It happened early this morning near Page, North Dakota, but there's no word yet on any injuries. We are still waiting to hear back from authorities for the details. And they are hard to miss, those mounds of snow that have taken over the valley, causing lots of people to have to clean up today, especially after that blizzard we had the other day. The Valley Today's Abby Furchner begins our team coverage by checking out some of the neighborhoods this morning, and we can see that plows have moved through that street at least one swipe through.
Yeah, they have moved at least once through most of the neighborhoods. I talked with Lee Anderson a little bit earlier this morning, but we're on 39th Avenue South, right off of 40th Avenue South right now. And as you can see behind me, these mounds of snow are honestly acting like a wall all the way down 39th Avenue South. The mounds are right outside of their homes. You could not get into this area, onto the sidewalk to get to this person's front door if you tried. So it's going to be a lot of effort to clean up outside this morning. We have seen some snow blowers out already trying to clear out driveways and clear a path out on those sidewalks to get to those front doors, but it is going to take some time today. Like I said, I did talk with Lee Anderson with City of Fargo a little bit earlier, and he said that they are a little overwhelmed, that they're trying their best to get everything cleared out, but they're going to be chasing this and cleaning up now for the rest of winter. He said that we got a tremendous amount of snow, so you're just going to have to be patient with them. But overall, the roads are pretty clear. It is icy, and they're trying to get some of that salt laid, but it's going to take some time to get out of your home this morning, especially if you're on your way to work. So you might have to get up a little bit earlier. You might have to put those boots on and shovel your way out.
Little morning cardio there by shoveling out your driveway. A lot of morning cardio with what they have going on. Thank you, Abby. And we do have an update just on some of the road closures that we have been reporting. I-29 from Grand Forks to Fargo is now open, and I-94 from Jamestown to Fargo is open as well. However, the interstate I-29 from Fargo down to the South Dakota state line is still closed. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning if anything changes. But right now, let's get a check of our storm team forecast to see what we can expect weather-wise on this Friday morning.
Well, it's frigid out there for cleanup. We're going to have to put on those extra layers and make sure you're covering up too. Even just 10-15 minutes outside and these kind of wind chills can lead to frostbite. So we want to cover everything here today and make sure you put on those sunglasses too. We have a beautiful sunrise taking shape, and that sun will be with us all day, reflecting off all that fresh snow. It's going to be very bright here. And as we continue through the morning, we'll enjoy this beautiful sunshine and clear skies. But it's better to enjoy it from inside because of these wind chills. Wind chill warning in effect for the entire Red River Valley and beyond. We've got wind chills as low as 54 below in Langdon. It's 40 below in Fargo and 41 below in Grand Forks, and a lot of 40 belows on the map here to start off the day. Our temperatures are into the 20s below in a lot of spots. We're at 20 below in Grand Forks, Fargo 19 below, and Devil's Lake, you're really having the tough time here with these temperatures. You're at 30 below, so it is quite frigid. The wind is not super strong. It's definitely not what it was yesterday, but there is enough wind out there. We've got some wind speeds into the teens. We've had a couple of gusts into the low 20s still this morning, and that could lead to a little bit of drifting across the roadways in those open areas, and certainly it's going to cut into how you feel when you're outside, if you're out in the open especially. Visibility is looking a lot better, except for Foston. We're struggling island there at less than 2 miles visibility. Clear skies throughout much of the valley. Those clouds are departing. And again, we'll enjoy that sun through the day today. Temperatures will go up, but they just don't warm up much. We don't feel that warmth at all today. We'll be at 8 below here in Fargo. And wind out of that northwest will switch westerly. And you can see just little by little it's easing up as we head into the later parts of the day. So it just continues to improve. Now heading into Saturday, we'll see some cloud cover take over, a little warmer air moving in. Again, relatively speaking, this is not going to be a warm day, a high of only 3 degrees, and the potential for a couple of light snow showers with that, perhaps just a few flurries. It's going to be isolated, so not everybody impacted. And then Sunday, a high of 5, so a quieter weekend before we get right back into our next winter storm system. Monday and into Tuesday, both snow and wind, with this one affecting us here in the upper Midwest. The big question is where will that heavy snow track be? And we'll have more on that as it gets closer. Let's check in now with Al.
We're back out here on Interstate 29 this morning, taking a look at things out here and on the whole Metro Interstate Loop, Interstate 29 and Interstate 94. A lot of traffic out here this morning. Our community definitely is getting out and getting after it this morning. Wheel tracks, we certainly have some wheel tracks out here. Some of the ramps tend to be on the slippery side. We have in fact, a number of them are. We have a stalled car. It's on pickup, actually. It's on northbound Interstate 29 right around Main Avenue, a white Chevrolet pickup, it looked like. No lights, no flashers. Make sure you're looking out for that. There's also a semi that's pulled over on the ramp off 34th Street onto westbound Interstate 94 in Moorhead. Flashers are on. Make sure that you're looking out for that unit as well. As far as Interstate 29 is concerned, it is reopening as we speak. I still see some flashing lights up here, but it's reopening now to southbound traffic, and that's certainly a good thing as well. So and one other thing, 19th Avenue North. Almost forgot about that. 19th Avenue North remains closed. From what I understand, it's really quite a mess up there, so it's going to be a while before they get at that. But 19th Avenue North in Fargo remains closed. Drive carefully this morning, folks. Al Ahmed, Valley Today traffic.
An update as well right into our newsroom this morning. I-29 from Fargo to the South Dakota state line, as we mentioned, and Al's been talking about as well, is still closed, but it's supposed to open here in about 5 minutes. So at 7 a.m., we're hearing from the Department of Transportation that I-29 from Fargo to the South Dakota state line will open. Of course, I-94 is now open to Jamestown, and I-29 is open from Fargo to Grand Forks. But still, stay safe out on the roads. Of course, a lot of people did stay home yesterday because of the snow, ice, and low visibility, but there are always those people who still head out. And if you were risking your own life, you were also risking the lives of our local emergency crews. Firefighters are used to taking risks, but the whiteout conditions yesterday took their calls for service from dangerous to potentially deadly.
Crews are being called out to help stranded and stuck drivers, and that's making them targets on the road. In the last 3 weeks, 4 firefighters have been killed and 5 police officers or EMTs have been hit by drivers not paying attention to the road conditions. Local firefighters are urging people to stay home during bad weather. But what happens if someone has an emergency or does get stuck on a day like we had yesterday?
Cass County Sheriff Jesse Johnner says if a plow can't clear the way for emergency vehicles, the county will use an ATV, snowmobile, or even an airboat to get to where they need to be. A crew from the sheriff's office always sets up at their West Fargo shop when there's severe weather, especially with severe visibility issues. They'll deploy from that location in case of an emergency. Extreme and extended cold weather calls for emergency measures, and that's what North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is doing. He has granted an hours of service waiver for drivers of commercial vehicles that are transporting propane.
That allows drivers to spend more time delivering propane to businesses, farms, and ranches and households to meet the increased heating needs. The waiver is in effect until February 17th. Prosecutors say a 31-year-old security guard fired 5 shots into the windshield of a school bus that had scraped his car on a snowy highway near downtown Minneapolis this week. The driver was wounded, but a child on board was not hurt.
Kenneth Lilly of St. Paul was charged yesterday with attempted second-degree murder and second-degree assault. The bus driver was shot in the arm and also grazed in the head, but his wounds are not life-threatening. A Minnesota man is going to prison for more than 12 years for crashing his snowmobile into an 8-year-old boy and killing him last winter. 46-year-old Eric Coleman of Chisago City was sentenced yesterday in the death of second grader Alan Geisencotter Jr. The boy's father was also injured in that crash. The family was going ice fishing when the boy was hit.
Police want you to know about a high-risk sex offender who is now living in Fargo. 19-year-old Terry Gromish Jr. is living at 514 University Drive South, number 3. He was convicted of indecent exposure in 2014 in Stutsman County Juvenile Court. Gromish must register for a lifetime. Let's get that answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's that question. More than half of workers say they wish their workplace would upgrade this.
The answer? Their coffee. You can take part every morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. And one more quick check of our weather today.
Yeah, it is looking quite cold here to follow up that blizzard. A wind chill warning in effect until noon. We do have wind chills that are down into as low as 57 below right now in Langdon. So dangerous. If you're going to be out shoveling and cleaning up, make sure you're dressed in layers and covered up today.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but